Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. This is your homegirl, Arabia Barbosa, 914 Westchester County, New York. We're still in South Carolina. Shout out to the chat, aka I am Arabia Barbosa, aka the BT1000, aka the Jeepy Creeper on this shit, aka Lucy the Vampire, aka the German Shepherd in the goddamn room. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. As you can see, I'm on my way downtown. You know, I had to check my calendar real quick because I made an appointment and I'm thinking it's today, but it's actually next Friday. So shout out to the chat. I had to recheck. Sometimes it's good to recheck things. It's good to write things down, and in my case, most cases I write things down, but then I'm so worried about it, so preoccupied about it, that I'm actually thinking that the date I'm supposed to go on is closer than what I'm thinking or what's written down. But shout out to the chat. I was able to double check. So I'm on my way downtown right now. I gotta make me some money before the weekend rolls in real good. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to all my subscribers and my YouTube creators and my true support team. Because sometimes, I'm going to tell you something. Just because, I'm going to tell you, and this is me, this is coming from my heart. Just because someone is from the same state you're from, or they've had certain life experiences that you had in the past, does not make those people automatically your best friend. That does not make those people automatically your biggest team. That doesn't make those people any closer to you than anyone else on these YouTube streets. Some people will only hang with you just so they can get indirectly involved with the bullshit. And you'll find that on these YouTube streets. There'll be people that don't like certain YouTube creators, but instead of them going after the YouTube creator, they rather hide behind a YouTube creator they're familiar with. You know, they might have a channel of their own, but they won't post any videos. They won't go live. They won't do no uploads. They won't even write on their community wall. They won't even write on their community wall, but they'll get on their communication device. I don't care if it's a phone. I don't care if it's a tablet. I don't care if it's a computer. And come to you with some fucking news. And the dog that carries a bone will bring a bone. The dog that carries a bone will bring a bone. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, we got a lot of people on this app. They're not true soldiers. They're not true supporters. They're not true subscribers. These people are parasites. That's what they do. They hold on to certain YouTube creators. Now, if I have an issue with anyone on these YouTube streets, on this app, on this platform, in this sector, I have no problem addressing those people on my platform. If I choose not to go on their platform or anyone else's platform, that's my business, because I have my own channel. I have my own channel. Shout out to the chat. And I've said plenty of times who the people are that I don't like in this sector. I said it for 4 years. I guess I'm going to have to keep saying it. And keep saying it. And keep saying it. But yeah, That's what I wanted to be known. Just because someone is from your home state, they might have grew up in certain conditions that you grew up in, does not mean that those people are your best friend. That does not mean that those people have your best interests at heart, because they don't. If it ain't no drama going on concerning you or a YouTube creator they don't like, trust me, they never truly appear. They never truly appear. You know what I mean? Until some drama shows up, until some bullshit is happening. That's when they reappear. Not all the time, but sometimes. Shout out to the chat. I don't know what they got going on up here. I just see all these vehicles with these flashing lights. I just see all these vehicles with all these flashing lights. I don't know if anybody has seen it yet or is aware of what's going on with Dr. Umar. I don't know. Only thing I know is that the man is an ancient YouTube creator. He's been on these YouTube streets for many, many years. He was here when Tommy Sotomayor, Tariq Nasheed, all of them were on these YouTube streets beefing with each other. He was here for all of that. And it's all over these YouTube streets that he was trying to open up a school for black boys to attend in Delaware. And come to find out, he was scamming the people. He was taking their money. He wasn't using it towards the school. Different other things popped up concerning that. And some people say he might run away to Africa, but how he gonna run to Africa? He don't have no fucking money. It takes some money to get over there to Africa or any other place. You know what I mean? And he would have no reason to really run away, but shout out to the YouTube streets for exposing Dr. Umar. And it's so sad about his daughter. His daughter is everywhere, all over these YouTube streets, asking for help, you know, and he refuses to assist his own daughter. And I have an issue with that. I have a big issue with that because it's I don't mean no harm, but it just seems like to me a lot of black men that get involved with certain community activities usually are never there for their children. And I'm talking about brothers that were part of the Black Panther Party. I'm talking about brothers that was a part of the Nation of Islam, brothers that was a part of the 5% Nation of Gods and Earths. It just seemed like to me, when certain black men become a part of the woke conscious community, they forget about all their home responsibilities. They forget they have a wife. They forget they have children. They conveniently use community activism as an excuse not to be at home. They use it as an excuse not to be at home. But when these children that they don't take care of, that they don't support, that they don't raise, become older people, all of a sudden, now they want to be mom and dad. Now they want to be involved with their children's life. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the men and the women. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of that going on. Last night, I was looking on these YouTube streets and I saw like a video where they were talking about the children of Charles Manson. and how these children grew up not really knowing who their father was. You know what I mean? They grew up not knowing who their father was. You know what I mean? So Charles Manson, he started his own cult, and a lot of shit jumped off with him and his followers, and they all got locked up for some murders that happened. And you know, Charles Manson had some children. The children grew up without the father. The father was not a part of their lives. Here comes a train or something. Yeah. See, I have been lucky thus far, but we're going to watch this train do its thing. Because I got to get across this street right here to get to my destination. This train is holding me up. What they are moving on these trains, I don't know. But I do know one thing. They was supposed to combine the trains and the bus system down here together. The same track that this train is using, that is what's supposed to be used for the public transportation of Charleston, South Carolina. And they're using it for these other trains. We got people sitting in Congress, won't say nothing about this shit. But they worrying about getting rid of all the immigrants. They worrying about taking away black people's rights in this country. They worry about all the wrong things. Yeah, I'm not too far from my destination. I'm like 40 minutes out. If I keep walking at the same pace I'm walking, I'll be there way before 5 o'clock. And this ain't the only train track they got in this area. It's another one. Once I pass this, it'll be another one. Oh shit. I'm only 14 minutes into this video. I'm gonna keep this video up to see who really be like, you know. And then those that watch my videos, I'm gonna start asking that you please, when you watch the video, just let me know if you watch the whole thing or not. You know what I mean? Where yeah, I guess I can cross now. They must have had a major project up this way, not too far from here, because I see a bunch of trucks I don't recognize, like a bunch of work trucks that I really don't recognize. The only way that I usually see those trucks is if they're doing some kind of construction on the roads. And I noticed there's a lot of loose black tar pavement rocks all over this ground. Wow, this is crazy. See what I mean? They just bought all this equipment out here the other day. Sure did. Yeah, I'm not that far from my destination. I'm like 40 minutes away. 40, maybe 50 minutes away. And I was telling my boss yesterday that they should truly invest in getting a company van to pick up people that live in North Charleston. Because everyone that works for this company I'm going to today do not live downtown. Everyone does not live in downtown Charleston. I've been here a few years, and I've been dealing with this company on and off for quite some time, because I remember when I was working for them when I first got out of prison in 2001, but I was living in Columbia, South Carolina then. This is some bullshit they got going on these sidewalks. This how you know the city workers don't be working. They're supposed to cut all this grass, in all these different areas, and all they do all day, basically, is ride around in their trucks, going from place to place just to sit down and talk shit. They might have a weed eater going here and there, but it's mostly around the schools. It's not on the public roads or public sidewalks in certain areas. These people of South Carolina are very lazy. They're very lazy because a lot of the dudes I work with are very lazy. They'll come to work, right? And they'll work good for like 2-3 hours. And then all of a sudden you see them disappearing. And when you catch up to them later on, they be up asleep somewhere or drinking a beer somewhere. Yeah, it's a lot of that going on. Smoking their weed. Yeah, it's a lot of that going on. People don't care about working. People just care about socializing when they go to work. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, that's all they care about. Hey, Keep the Change, good morning. Good morning, Keep the Change. Thank you for coming in. Keep the Change. I'm really enjoying what Sis is doing to the takeover. I'm really enjoying it. And Predator 101 over there, he can't seem to get it right. He can't seem to respond correctly or nothing. Yo, Miss 504 is tearing her asses up. Shout out to Miss 504. Shout out to Sis Rabbit Got a Wrench. So the makeover is blowing up the takeover. Cocotazo. Vanquish those niggas. Vanquish all Crumbites. Yeah, there go the train right there. I know that's right, Keep the Change. I was laughing my ass off when Miss 504 was reacting to Predator 101 video. I was laughing my ass off. She was calling it out good. She was calling them. Yo, she was just tearing his ass up. And she's like letting us know that because he's off the sex registry now, he thinks it's okay to get involved with his victims. He thinks it's okay to contact his victims. Somebody better tell that man to stop that foolishness over there. And I just can't believe people are following him, listening to that bullshit. Garrick be over there, his old yag ass. But Garrick, he really don't like Predator 101 Cookie over there. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, man. Oh, and then Supernova had to curse out Predator 101 because he came into her chat the other day and started tippity typing, calling her all kinds of names and stuff. Yo, she cursed his ass out. She gave him the business. She came to him with all the smoke. He came into her chat with a little bit of smoke. She blew his ass away. Puff the Magic Dragon. Shout out to Supernova. Uh-oh. Yeah, every time I get close to my destination, my whole thing just start acting up. You know, my little hand be all sweaty and shit. So if I sit down right over here by this wall, right, whatever sweat is on my brow or forehead or my little hands is gonna hit the phone, but I don't give a fuck. I'm on my way downtown anyway. Let me sit down for a few seconds. Yeah, because you guys know I'm a big girl, so I gotta take my time. It already takes an hour and 30 minutes to first left out of my house, right? And started walking down the street. I'm just walking down the street, minding my business, right? Talking about, All of a sudden, I hear this noise behind me. Yo, somebody's dog was walking down the street with me. And it followed me. It followed me to a certain destination because I went down and sat down outside of this house. It's an electrical business. And I looked and the dog was creeping up. And I had to holler at it and say, get out of here now. Go on, dog. The dog disappeared. I looked up. I didn't see him no more. I didn't see him walking. I didn't see him running. I didn't see him doing shit. All of a sudden, this dog just disappeared. And it's a dog I've never seen before in that neighborhood. Never seen this dog before. But it looks familiar. Like, it looks like some of those dogs that you usually see on YouTube or Facebook, because those dogs are usually spotted. They're spotted up. He had spots on him. He looks similar to a pit bull. But I know he wasn't no pit bull. And he was just walking so softly. Don't ask me how I knew somebody was creeping up from behind. I said, somebody creeping up from behind me. And I'm very aware of where I'm walking and where I'm at. So immediately I turned. And it was a dog. I said, well, I'd rather have the dog following me than one of these creeps. You know, I don't know why that dog was following me. Maybe he thought he was protecting me. I don't know. Or maybe he thought, whatever he thought, maybe he looking for home. I don't know. Uh-oh. Yeah. This walk I'm on is an hour and 30 minutes. Now, let's say I was on a bus, keep the change. This pathway I'm going will only take 15 minutes on the bus. But it takes longer if you walk it. I probably need to walk every now and then. I don't need to walk this every day. But I noticed that if I come after 6 o'clock, that's usually what time the bus will drop me off, I don't get on no tickets. All of a sudden, no tickets are there. But if I come before 5:30, I stand a greater chance of going out on a ticket. And I need some money for this weekend. Yeah, I need some money for this weekend. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, so they never did send us back on the deco ticket where we was doing the demolition. The demolition job, they never sent us back on that. Now that was a good paying ticket. All these other tickets, they don't really pay nothing. They don't really pay nothing. And like I said the other day, somebody stole my sneakers out of the lobby the other day. See, when people go to work, see, they used to hold everybody's stuff in the back room, but for some reason they stopped doing it. So now, like, if you don't want to carry all kinds of stuff in your hand, you gotta like bag that up and put it in the lobby. Somebody stole them shits. Yeah, man. Yeah, we got a lot of homeless population people. You know, these people, they come in. Some of them are living on the street. Some of them got some kind of substance abuse problem going on. But I don't feel sorry for none of them. I don't feel sorry for none of them. Nobody felt sorry for me when I was out there. So, no, there's no pity. And I don't mean no harm. I will be glad when they start enforcing certain stuff in this area concerning them. See, they were doing it when I was out there. They were chasing us off of certain properties, certain places. And they were just, some days I would collect enough money from off my job just to go to the motel for a week or two. You know what I mean? And then I had to come back out here and do it all over again. But I had Birdman with me then. And I asked Birdman before he passed away. I said, Birdman, I was just in such and such a neighborhood downtown. And I said, remember when we used to have to do such and such? He said, I said, do you know how we survived out there? He said, Arabia, I couldn't even begin to tell you. He said, I can't even begin to tell you. But we survived. We did what we had to do. This is one of the stores. It's called United States Foods Chef Store. They just built this like 2 years ago. This wasn't here when I first moved to Charleston, South Carolina. That was not there. Shout out to the chat. Mm-hmm. So in a few moments, if I keep my pace steady, I will be, there's another a railroad crossing. Well, I see people going across. I don't see no traffic stopping. I wonder what's going on while they're out here so early, because they don't usually move around like this unless it's during the day or during the cold months. You know, I know they move around a certain time in the morning and in the afternoon, but this morning was a little ridiculous. Okay, I'm almost, yep. See, I'm not too far from the senior citizen building down here. See, this is where the economic divide comes in. And it's so sad, you guys. So sad how they treat black people as they get older. that kind of makes me wonder, what the fuck am I gonna be going through in the next, if I live to tell it, what's gonna happen to me in the next, 10 years? 10 years from now, I'll be 62 years old. So, I'll be a senior citizen. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it like this. When I turn 55, I qualify for certain types of housing. Whether I'm in South Carolina or New York, I qualify for certain types of housing because 55, in some places, you're not a senior citizen, you're a partial seat. You're a part-time senior citizen. You're a part-time senior citizen. I said, oh my goodness, I'm getting ready to be a part-time senior citizen. Shout out to the chat. I know, keep the change. But I've been doing it on and off for a couple of months. Remember when I was working at the Walmart ticket, keep the change? And there was one particular Saturday I had went to work and I couldn't take the bus. I couldn't take the bus, keep the change, because I didn't have no bus fare money that day. So I had to walk from North area back to downtown Charleston, South Carolina. And I remember that day because I left my house way before 12 o'clock in order to meet the carpool, because she was taking everyone to Walmart that particular night. They're supposed to be putting us back on that ticket. We're supposed to be getting that ticket back. But I haven't heard anything lately. So what I'm going to do come this Monday, I'm going to go to another, temp service that I know that was dealing with Walmart and see what they talking about. And they pay more money. They pay more money than the place I'm working for right now. They pay more money. I mean, all their jobs, if I go to the other temp service, all their jobs pay more money. I think they get paid on certain type of jobs. Well, for that particular company I'm thinking about, they pay you once a week. Pay you once a week. Yeah. Got all these people in their work trucks early this morning, creeping around early this morning. All of them are out here working. Some of them out here creeping, looking for women, looking for female friends. Because, okay, see the street right here? The street right here? Over there, this building right here that we getting ready to come up on, that's a senior citizen building. That's a senior citizen building. But we got a lot of our older senior citizen sisters that live in that building who participate in, certain activities. They participate in certain activities. So when you leave from certain neighborhoods, you can tell which neighborhoods got the most traffic with that shit going on. You can tell the hoods that got all that certain type of traffic going on around it. And I hate to say it, it's all in the black neighborhoods. It's all in the black neighborhoods. Even, I'm going to tell you something, even the white prostitutes, the white streetwalkers, they don't walk in their neighborhood. They walk in the black neighborhood. They walk where black people live and the Latino community is at. That's where they do all their uh street walking work. I laugh, but it's a sad situation. And believe it or not, a lot of women disappear. When I first came to this area of South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina, a lot of women were being found in certain spots, certain places. A lot of women were turning up being missing. That's why when I became homeless, keep the change, and shout out to the chat. That's why when I became homeless, I used to always hang by myself for a little while. And then I started going to certain places where it stayed open late. So by the time I'm leaving that establishment, it's already 2:30 in the morning, and I only had like maybe 2 hours and 30 minutes to wait for the company to open up so I can go and make my money that day. The best time I used to get sleep is when I used to go to the motels. Because I remember when I first came out here, I didn't get no sleep. Where was I going to get to sleep at? And you know what happens to you when you don't get sleep? You start hallucinating. You start seeing things that are not there. Man, it was so bad. I'd be walking down the street. Next thing you know, my eyes, if I stop for like 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever, my eyes would close. I would automatically start sleepwalking. Yeah, let the eyes be open, man. Shit. There was plenty of time I used to go to the job and just stand there and hold the broom. Stand up, sleep. Shout out to the chat. But thank God I had enough sense to get me a motel room. Collect enough money, get a motel room, go stay at a motel for a week or two. If I feel like going to work, I get up and go to work. If I don't feel like getting up, I don't get up. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, we downtown now. Look at this building. We worked at this building a couple of, I want to say it was last year. And you know, we can't even get apartments in these buildings. We can't even afford to get an apartment in this building. Some of these apartments are going for $2,000 a month, or a little bit more than that, depending on how big they are. So shout out to the chat. Yeah, they're trying to get like New York, but South Carolina will never be New York. New York just got a different type of flavor. Different type of people, different type of flavor. People from New York got swag. People from South Carolina don't have no swag. Sorry, 27 Darren and Ronald Jones, but that's my opinion about people from South Carolina. They don't have no swag. They're all crabs down here, crabs in the bucket. Everybody trying to score, everybody trying to take advantage of people. And they don't take advantage of strangers. They take advantage of people that they work with or people they familiar with. They try to run game on you. I mean, just the other day, I was at the job, right? And somebody came up to me and said, "Oh, can I borrow your phone?" I said, "No. Nobody borrow my phone. Everybody works for the same amount of money. If I can afford a phone, why can't they afford a phone?" That's why I say there's a lot of crab mentality going on with these people. Now, we sitting right across the street from the senior citizen building. None but black people live in this building. They do not service this building like the way they do another building that's further downtown. I forget the name of that building, but it's more white residents over there, and they get everything. They get Meals on Wheels, they get social workers, they get therapists to come in, they get all kinds of activities. They get things going on for them. But for the people that live in this building, they get absolutely nothing. Hey, Just Jay. No, Just Jay, I'm not in Brooklyn. I'm from New York, but I'm down here in South Carolina. I've been here in South Carolina since, 2014, but I've been living in Charleston, South Carolina, since 2017. So I've been here for a while. Keep the change. Believe it or not, that's why you guys are walking with me. You had the right thought. I was thinking keep the change. You had the right thought. I was thinking. You're right. It's not safe. But this is what happens to you when you don't do the right things. This is what happens to you when you don't plan your life. So I didn't plan my life as I got older, especially after I got out of prison. After I got out of prison, it was a free-for-all. It was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to live my life like the way I want to, and that's it. And unfortunately, I didn't count on getting older. I didn't count on gaining all this weight. And I didn't count on living in South Carolina. Cleaning jobs available. Must have own car, truck. You see this? So I already know who put the sign out. I already know who did this. And basically, that's a cleaning job where you work at certain banks and stuff, but you do have to have your own car, your own transportation. If you don't have that, you can just hang it up. You can just hang it up. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting at the red light. I'm just taking a break, you guys. Because this street right here, right now, is all calm and quiet and collective. But wait for another, hour or two, this whole street going to be busy. You ain't going to even be able to get across the street. Shout out to the chat. Let me hurry up. I don't know exactly what time it is. I'm assuming it's close to 5 o'clock in the morning. Uh-oh. I'm assuming it's close to 5 o'clock. Let me check real quick. Yeah, it's like 4:30. It's 4:30 in the morning. I got 30 minutes to get to my destination, my true destination. And when we get there, it's gonna be a bunch of people. Watch, y'all. If I, you know what I might do? Because what I might do, I'm gonna end the video right before I get there, and then when I get in there, or before I get in there, I'm gonna show you guys. If I see people sleeping, I'm gonna videotape it. I'm gonna videotape it because a couple of years ago, you could not even sleep in that place. You better not close your eyes. You'll be asked to leave and come back the next day. Now, they don't even do that. When certain shit happen, they'll call the police sometimes, and the police will never come. They want to catch these guys with drugs on them. That's what they want to do. Because if they can catch them, and that's why they've been coming over there lately, because they've been trying to catch people with drugs on their person. Because anytime you get caught up with any kind of drugs, I don't care what it is, you're gone. You're gone for 30 days. You're gone. That's why they're not interested if you got an open container. They're not interested in none of that. But when they see them guys go behind that dumpster area, they automatically know what's going on. They just show up. I remember one time they showed up because one of the guys, he was accused of stealing someone's bicycle. I said, wait a minute, this man is a working man. And I've been seeing him with that bicycle. But nobody was thinking he had stole the bike. They thought it was his bike. You know what I mean? Word. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, Charleston, South Carolina is a character all on its own. If this was a movie, it would be the main character. Well, not the main character of my movie, but a partial main character. I've been down here a few years, and I've been here before, but not this part of South Carolina. You know, I've been in other parts of South Carolina. But I know deep in the back of my heart, the last time I had moved to New York, and trust me, I was set. I had my own apartment. You know, I was close to everything, all the stores, all the train stations, all the buses. I was close to where all the hospitals were at. I was close to a lot of restaurants and stuff like that. And I leave New York to come down here back to the South after certain things transpired. You know. But a lot of my siblings, when we moved from New York, a lot of them, I thought most of them would move back to New York. None of them moved back to New York. All of them live in South Carolina. If they don't live in South Carolina, they live in Virginia. Those are two main places my people are at, as far as my siblings are concerned. Now, my biological siblings, they all live in New York. But even they are trying to find a reason to move to the South. But like I said, my sister, she got 2 children. Well, them children about to be grown in a little bit. I know my niece getting ready to be grown in a little while, because my niece was born in 2009? I want to say 2009. Yeah. So she's grown. She's just about grown. If she's not grown, she's almost grown. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I got other nieces and stuff. They're much older than that particular niece. And all of them are grown. None of them live in New York. None of them. I got some cousins that live in New York, but even they are considering moving from New York. Some might end up going to Puerto Rico, because even though we got the Cape Verdean blood running through our veins, one of my aunts on my father's side, one of my father's sisters, married a man from Puerto Rico. And she got 2 sons by him. And even though they live in New York, all of them are considering moving to Puerto Rico. Yeah, they can do it. I heard that Captain Abraham, he's getting the African passports for people that are interested in moving to Africa. It depends on which part of Africa, because I'm not moving nowhere where my people are not from. And my people are from the Cape Verdean Islands. My great-grandfather moved from there years ago. And when he came to this country, I hate to say it, he looked like a white man. He looked Caucasian. When he came to this country, he wrote on that piece of paper, when they asked him his ethnic background, he put down white. Shout out to the chat. And he had the nerve to marry Great Barbosa. She was a Native American woman, very dark complected woman, very nice looking woman. Native American, 5th-generation New Yorker, because her people was totally from New York. She was from New York. Her mother was from New York. It just goes back. Many generations. My great-grandmother, she attended the boarding school, the residential boarding school stuff that they had going on in this country. So in this country and in Canada, they was taking Native American children and putting them in these residential boarding schools. And the children that attended those schools could not wear their traditional clothing. They could not speak their own languages. They had to change their hairstyles. And they did that to erase these cultures of these Native Americans. They wanted to erase them and wanted to just steal all their land, all their territory. All that was about divide and conquer. And they did a good job dividing and conquering everyone. The children of Dr. Yaku, the cave dwellers. People say, well, Ray, that's not a very nice term. That's racist. How is it racist? I don't own nothing. I don't own no companies. I don't have no old money backing me. I don't even have generational wealth backing me. So how am I racist? I'm just calling out the bullshit that I've been seeing for the last 52 years. And what I have learned going to school and living my life and doing research on things I want to know about. Shout out to the chat. Just Jay, I'm going to the dispatch office right here for a company I work for. I've been working for them on and off since I was 28 years old. On and off now. I had different jobs. After I left them, then I come back and leave and come back. So that's where I'm headed right now. That's where I'm headed. But I don't mean no harm. There's a difference between the two companies I worked for. One of them, when you came into the office, into the lobby dispatch area, you felt like you was going up for parole. That they made you feel like it was a parole hearing. When you go to this particular office, you feel like you're walking into an overnight sleepover, a homeless shelter. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. So yes, I am a part of the ghetto. I'm a part of it. Hey, lovely. Good morning. Good morning, lovely. Good to see you. Shout out to everyone that has come into the comment section and come to spend time with me on these while I'm walking down these streets once again. Not walking down the YouTube streets, walking the real life streets. I'm supposed to be going to my appointment next Friday. I'm thinking it was this Friday. I'm going through my paperwork. It's for next Friday. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's to see the cardiologist. So I just call him the heart doctor. You know what I mean? I never had problems with my heart before. Just when I caught that asthma attack, and you know, they have to screen everything, give you x-rays, or KGs, or monitoring your heart, and doing the other thing. You know, they had to do blood work. And the liver is not in such good health. I don't have cirrhosis of the liver. It's just that my liver has a lot of fatty things on it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fat, you know. And that comes from years of drinking all those malt liquors and regular alcoholic drinks. It could have been vodka, could have been gin, could have been rum, could have been anything I have been drinking all those years. Shout out to the chat. But I'm on my way to the office now. I got to watch my steps. I remember one time I tripped over here, almost fell. And you know what black people do when we fall? We look around and we pretend that it never happened. Let a white person fall. Oh my God. They putting up all kinds of signs. They'll find cones to put and write a note and be like, be careful walking here, or do not walk in this area right here. Not black people. Oh no. We fall. We look around to make sure nobody's seen us. That's what we do. Shout out to the chat. I remember a couple of years ago, there was a situation going on, right? In Hampton Park down here. Everyone else was just walking around minding their own business. Not them white people. Child, they see something wrong. They putting up signs. They calling the police. They letting everybody know. Don't stay in this park too late. You know, it's not very safe. We know it was not very safe. There's a building not too far from here that was not very safe. Everyone used to go there. Now they got it fenced off. Shout out to the chat. You know what, lovely? I don't blame you. Yes, I understand you have to see where you're going. But lovely, I'm so used to doing things that's unconventional. You know, a lot of women my age and your age would not be walking down a dark street nowhere. Yes, I understand. There is danger in doing that, but I have to do what I gotta do to try to make this money for today. That's why I gotta go to this office and get dispatched out. You know what I mean? I really want to be on a ticket by myself, where I don't have to be bothered with all them people. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of creeps there. Oh, the danger is not in walking to where I'm walking to. The danger is right there in the dispatch office. We got motherfuckers that's already high, already drunk, already out of their mind, with getting no sleep. But if I catch people sleeping, I'm gonna videotape it. Yeah, because I want everyone to know what goes on. Even when I go on regular jobs, these dudes end up sleeping. Like me, I could be awake at my house for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours before I got to get up and get myself situated to go to work. But when I get to the office, I'm not sleepy. I'm energized. I'm well rested. I already ate. So I'm very comfortable, and I'm not homeless anymore. I got a key to my own apartment. I don't have to live with nobody. So there's a lot of stresses I don't have. But yes, it is. And we getting ready to walk up under this underpass where, a lot of homeless people is living here. The cops have cleared out a lot of shit, but there's still some stuff remaining, some elements remaining, some people remaining. Hold on, I gotta cross the street now. Oh, yeah, let me hurry up before that traffic come down. And some people actually stand here on this street corner and panhandle. They actually stand right here where this sign is at and panhandle. Shout out to the chat. I don't do that. Now that would be dangerous. That would be very dangerous. And I do watch out for my surroundings. I do watch out what's going on around me. I like to know because I'm on my own now. Now that Birdman is gone, I'm on my own. And that's reality. It took me a while. It took me a while to accept that fact because sometimes I'll get on my phone and call his number. Just call him. And there's no answer. It doesn't even go to voicemail. Just there's no answer. Shout out to the chat. So every now and then I'll think about him and I'll call him. Be like, damn, I wonder if he's gonna answer this phone. He don't never answer. Shout out to the chat. But look how they have changed this area. Now, when I first moved to this area, this building was not here. This was not here. Okay. Some of these other buildings in the background, those buildings were not there. So they did a lot of construction. This is student housing apartments for the students that attend one of these colleges. I want to say College of Charleston because they have a lot of students in this area. A lot of them getting ready to go back to school. If they haven't already gone back, they'll be going back in a few more days and stuff. These college students, they're something else. Yeah. We're back. Lovely. I'm sorry to tell you this, but Birdman passed away in February. I don't know if you was aware of that or not. But yeah, Birdman, he had moved. I don't know if you remember, but remember when I used to go to Remont Road all the time and visit him at his trailer, that little trailer apartment he had? Yeah, he ended up moving from there. He moved to West Ashley. But then he had like another medical emergency episode happen to him, and he fell out. The ambulance was called. They came and got him and took him to the hospital. He died in the hospital. He passed away. He had pancreatic cancer. So I remember when they did the surgery on him a few years ago, and the doctors assured us, oh, he's going to start gaining weight. He's going to start getting better. But Birdman never was the same again. It just seemed like he got weaker and weaker. Anyway, he passed away. So I'm by myself. Because I remember he used to come to the house. Birdman would knock on the door and be like, come on, baby, open the damn door. Come on, baby, let's go shopping. Come on, baby, let's go to the house. And Birdman used to love to cook. He used to love to cook. He used to love to cook. And now, sometimes I look out my window, I don't see nobody. Sometimes I get on my phone, I call his number, he don't answer. I said, oh, Lord. Well, let me focus on something more happier. So I'm downtown. I'm only a few minutes away from the dispatch office. I hope they got the computer thing set up. So the only thing I have to do is go in there and put in my digits and then sign in and then take a seat. Yeah, take a seat. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, but you see these apartments right here? These are veteran apartments right here. But it takes forever for the veterans to move in. That's why when Birdman was living, I was like, Birdman, you can move downtown into those apartments right there. He did not want to move there. He said because he wouldn't have his own yard. He actually believed. And those are two-story apartments. It looked like one house, but they're actually two-story. He didn't want to live with other men. He did. I told y'all he used to live with me for a little while. Birdman lived with me when I was in the rooming house up there on Decatur Street. So Birdman lived with me for like 3 months. And then we ended up getting him a room in another county. And I would go over there and visit with him. And then I was so happy when he moved out of that room and got his own place off of Remont Road. And then he moved to West Ashley. And then he wasn't even at his apartment 2 months. He couldn't enjoy nothing. During the day, he would be fine. But at night, all of a sudden, all kinds of pains and stuff. And, oh, man. I kept telling Birdman, when they release you from the hospital, Birdman, because I'm not going to be able to sit with you all the time, get them to get you a nurse's aide. Get them to get you a certified nursing assistant. She'll come to your house. She'll visit with you as many times as you need her to come. Get the VA to pay for it. He didn't want to do that. He didn't want to do nothing. If it didn't involve me, he didn't want to be bothered. Seems like your worst nightmares come true in your own life while you're awake. While you're awake. Oh, this right here is the projects. They're getting ready to They're getting ready to remove everyone from these projects and demolition over here and build housing for college students for the College of Charleston. Shout out to the chat. Yeah, I'm close to my destination. I want to thank everyone that came in and walked with me. Oh, it's been great, you guys. See, you guys think I'm alone in the dark, but I'm not alone. I got you. You probably say so. Well, babe, we only virtual. We on a computer screen. We're on a tablet. We're on a phone. We're on a laptop. It doesn't matter. You walked with me. That's good enough for me. You came into the chat. You typed in. Thank you for coming with me, so I wouldn't be as lonely. So I'm going to see what's going on at this office. Hope I get good news. Usually when I come early in the morning like this, usually I do go out. So I'm not worried about not going out. I'm just going to keep popping my head into the window. Hey, I'm still here. Because you have to let them know that you're still there. Even though you might be on the list, if they call your name and you don't answer, they will skip over you and they'll go to the next person. So you got to be able to hear your name. So I like to sit real close, and if I even think I hear my name, I automatically get up. Wow. So that's one of the hotels down here. Yeah, you finally caught it live. Shout out to you, Just Jay. Just Jay, I usually go live this early in the morning, sometimes a little bit later, sometimes in the afternoon. It depends. I don't usually go live at night because so many other people are going live around that time. This is the housing authority. This is the housing authority of Charleston, South Carolina. This is the housing authority. And we get, okay, this is Jackson Street. This is Jackson Street. See that? This is Jackson Street. Those are where those abandoned houses used to be. They renovated all those abandoned houses. Nothing is the same anymore. And this right here, this building right here is a huge building. It's a huge abandoned building. Homeless people used to live in this building. This building was one of the most dangerous spots for homeless people in part of Charleston, South Carolina. There's one way in and one way out. And if you're a female, you better have your own male friend when you go up in there. I remember one night I was looking for KK. Now, fortunately for me, I dressed like a dude. I was smaller then, I was younger then. So I came in on the building and I was looking for KK. I couldn't find her nowhere. Somebody had told me that KK was down at this building. So I'm looking for KK and I'm like, KK, where are you? KK, where you at? All of a sudden, I heard all these men say, oh shit, a female voice. They started moving towards my direction. But like I said, I dressed like a dude. So when they was like, hey, you seen that female around here? I'm like shaking my head, no. And while they're going past me, I'm going to the main exit, how to get out of the building. Man, I was so happy to get out that damn building. Because like I explained before, a lot of shit be happening to females. A lot of shit be happening to the women. especially the home. You know how many homeless women didn't make it? You know how many of my homegirls are dead? Some of them didn't make it. Those that did make it off the street, some of them are back being homeless. I refuse. I refuse to go back to this nightmare. I refuse. Shout out to the chat. I'm out of here. Thank everyone for coming over. Like and share the video. I'm going to keep this video up. Shout out to everyone. Thank you for coming over. Just Jay. KK is a homegirl of mine. She's from Queens, New York. Yeah. She's much younger than me. But she don't live downtown no more. She live in North area with her boyfriend. But yeah, she was a good friend of mine. Good friend of mine. She's still living. You know, out of all the females that rode with me, only 3 of us are still living. Everyone else is dead. Yep. Shout out to the chat. We got lucky. Shout out to the universe. Thank you, lovely. I will. Thanks. Y'all have an awesome day. Be safe out there. One, peace.